What's going on, everyone? So the end of the year is here, and now it is time to change over to a new spreadsheet for 2023. So we're going to go through the steps on how to do that in this video, and in 15 minutes or less, you'll be up and running, ready to go. You'll have all your numbers that you need. So there are a couple things I want to get across before we get started with copying, and that is, before we start any of this, make sure that your data is complete and as filled out as you can possibly be. You don't want to be copying over any incomplete data or any mistakes. You want to do a nice thorough audit of your information, and just to make sure that you don't see anything out of place, you're not missing any kind of sold dates or anything like that. That's pretty important. If you do this kind of stuff every day, it's not that likely that things will be an issue, but you do just want to make sure that you're copying over all the data. If you copy over bad data, you're going to be starting with bad data. So this is kind of the make it or break it point. Just make sure you're starting with good data. The second thing I want you to do is, once you do make sure that you are ready to copy that data, make a backup. That way, if there is any issue with us copying things over, say you accidentally delete something, you don't know what happened, whatever, there's mistakes are made, just make up a backup, so that if there is a mistake, the easiest thing is just to start over with that backup. And if that does happen, make another backup. Make sure you are not using the only copy of your spreadsheet when you do this. That way you can always make another copy and just start fresh. All right, so without any further ado, we've got all of our backups made. We're ready to start copying. Let's head on over to the spreadsheets and we'll get started. So you're gonna wanna make sure you have your existing spreadsheet that you're ready to copy from. This is gonna be the backup copy. And then you have another spreadsheet that you're copying into. So this is going to be a copy of your backup of your new blank spreadsheets. If you watched the videos when I did release this new update, I recommended that you made a spare copy so that you always had something to start fresh. Just make a copy of that, have it here, and then you can just do another one in the future. So get those two side by side, and then what you're gonna do is go ahead and open everything up. We have hidden columns here. Just make sure everything is showing and available. If you did end up using these spare columns, all that, you want to copy that stuff over too. So just make sure you have everything that you need to copy available. And same thing with the new spreadsheet. It's probably going to have some stuff hidden here. So unhide everything, get everything out in the open so that you're not missing anything. Again, if your new spreadsheet does not have any additional columns, if you use these spare ones, you can copy that stuff over now, make it match so that's in the same area. You're probably used to it being in that spot anyway. Also, like this notes column doesn't necessarily have to be here. This could be column L, and then you can have all your spares after it, or it could be in column T, and you can have all your spares before it. These are for you to have for whatever you want. You can add in your own custom formulas if you want. They're just there for you for a little bit more customization for those that want it. So do what you want with it. All right, so now that everything is open, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is go down to the bottom, and if you have any spare lines of inventory down here at the bottom, let's just get rid of them. It's going to make it easier for us to scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see I have a lot here. We've added more than we needed here. So with our inventory unfiltered, let's go ahead and right click, delete the rows so that we only see what we have. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and filter down. You'll see we have sold inventory here. We have active inventory. It's all showing because this is the main page, right? This is all of our information available. So let's filter it down to just anything that has not sold. So we're going to go ahead and click this little filter button. It looks like a little funnel or like a little Y with a lid. And then you click on the available inventory. This should be made default for you because that's how the spreadsheet came. And then all that does is it only shows stuff that doesn't have a sold price. So it pulls out, it gets rid of all the information. It hides all the information that has sold price, and only show stuff that does not have a sold price. And then you'll notice if we scroll down, something doesn't look right. We're missing something here, and you'll notice this green line. That is the bottom of the filter, and you'll see that the range for some reason here is only going to 100. So let's go ahead and delete the number, the last number on that, press enter. Let's go ahead and press OK, and then that's going to make that filter range go all the way down to the bottom line, the bottom row of your sheet. So in our case, it's 158. So then that's going to pretty much everything that we're seeing here is stuff that we need to copy on over to the new sheet. Hopefully you haven't had any issue up till this point. If you did, just go back, re-listen to it, try again. But at this point, we're ready to start copying things over, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so now we're going to copy over all the information that we have typed in. You don't want to copy over anything that the spreadsheet has automatically filled out. So make sure you copy only the columns that I'm telling you to copy. You can't just select the whole sheet. You're gonna run into some issues because you're not going to be copying over the formulas correctly. So go to the very topmost leftmost column. That is column A4 in my case. If it might not be 4 for you, because remember, we're filtered for only the stuff that is unsold. So in our case, lines 2 and 3 have sold inventory in them. So we're not going to be copying those over. So go to the very top and leftmost available cell. And then, so we're going to be copying column A, column B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. Now, K is automatically filled out, so you do not want to copy K. So we're going to go over to J, and then go all the way down to the bottom and select the very bottom of J, hold shift, select it. And that's going to select all of that information. You'll see the blue highlighted square is now showing everything that we're going to be copying over. Just kind of scrolling around just to verify. Hold Control and press C for Windows. I'll put on the bottom of the screen what it is for Mac. If you are using a Mac, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but you'll see the button combinations as I do that. So now we have copied that to our clipboard. So go on over to your new blank spreadsheet that you have everything open and available. Hold Control Shift V, and that is going to copy just the information. It's not going to copy over any formatting or anything like that, just the data. And you'll see our date listed, or days active, has automatically updated, so that is good. Don't worry if you see these little invalid tags. We're going to take care of that a little bit later, but for now, we're going to move on to the next. If you do have any information of these spare columns, if you've used them, utilized them in any way, go ahead and copy those in the same way that we have copied here. So I'm just going to copy all of it, assuming that somebody has. There's no real harm in copying anything that's not filled out. So we're just going to go through these steps here. So let's go ahead and select again the top leftmost of the next section, which is L, and in my case 4. Scroll all the way down, and the last one is T, 157. And we'll go ahead and look around, make sure everything is enclosed in that. In this case, I don't have anything. I really don't need to copy this over, but we're just going through the steps for you guys. Control C, and then go on to the new spreadsheet, the very top left of that data that you want to paste in. Now you'll see we're in row 2 now, so just make sure that it is the very top one in the new sheet. Control Shift V, that's going to copy just the information. You'll notice I had some formatting errors on here. Like this has an extra gray spot. These all have gray spots here. That does not get copied over when I do the Control Shift V. For some reason, my new spreadsheet has the same error there, but that's no real big deal. We'll go ahead and take care of that. You can always reformat however you see fit. All right, and now that is pretty much all the information that you need to copy over. You'll see all the information from this point is anytime something sells, you'll fill that out as date sold, sold price. All this other information is stuff you don't even need to worry about copying over because you haven't filled it out for these yet anyway. So we can go ahead and get our spreadsheet tidied up again. We can hide all of the things that we want hidden. I like to just hide these spare columns since we don't use them. So to do that, you just click the top parts of the columns, and hold shift and then click the other end of it, right click, and then you could just press hide, and that hides them all just like that. Once they're hidden, they're never away, they're just hidden. You can always click these little black arrows here to reveal them again. Easy as that. We can always hide them again. So you do not want to get rid of those columns. If you remember from the how-to video, getting rid of any columns or adding any columns is going to mess up your spreadsheet, so you do not want to do that. You'll also notice now we have no sold information, so it's not going to be your dashboards are completely blank at this point. And then once you start entering sold information as your stuff sells, that's when it's going to start filling out your dashboard. And now we're going to take care of these little red errors. Now, what happened there is through the last year or however long you've been using your spreadsheet, you've added in information to your drop-down menus. So we're going to click here, click the drop-down menus. Oh yeah, look, these are different. So let's check out the other one. This was our old drop-down menu. We need to copy this information over as well. When selecting, just make sure you select here. You don't need to select anything further right, and you don't really need to select anything further down. But in this case, I've selected 3 extra lines. It's no big deal. You could still copy that. So let's Control C, head on over to the new one, and we're just going to be pasting over all of this. So just make sure you're selecting the very top left, which in our case is A2. It should be for you as well. Control Shift V, and that's going to add in all that information into our new spreadsheet, and you'll see all of those little red marks are now gone. Really, it's as easy as that. We're done. And I think we're done in less than 15 minutes. You're done. You're done copying over all of your information. You can now use it as you need to. Your old spreadsheet is basically archived at this point, and the nice thing you could do from there is you can go back on over to your old spreadsheet, your inventory page. We can get out of this filtered view, actually go into the sold item filtered view and update your range again. And if you wanted to see what your sales numbers were without using the dashboard, like for instance, if you wanted to see what your cost of goods sold was, have it filtered and just click that E button up there. And all right, so I had to move my camera a little bit, but if you want to see what your cost of goods sold was for the last year, all you have to do is filter down like we did, and then select the whole column of your cost of goods, and then look down here, and you'll see, in this case, it's showing nothing, and you can click this and change it to sum, and what that does is it will show you the sum of those numbers. That will give you your cost of goods sold for the year. As long as your data is all typed in correctly, that is your cost of goods sold. You could do the same with fees. If you wanted to know how much fees you had through the year, promoted fees or shipping costs, it will add up all that information there, along with net profit or adjusted net profit. So that's where you can pull those numbers for your tax purposes. The way I like to look at it is this is now archived, and now we can come and reference what our cost of goods sold was for the year, but we can also filter it by available inventory and do the same thing for our unsold inventory. We could see how much was unsold, how much active inventory we had on January 1. So you can filter it that way, see what your sum is, and so on and so forth. So another thing I wanted to mention was the expense log and mileage log. Now these things you don't need to copy over into your new spreadsheet. You're going to want to track your new expenses for the next year on the new spreadsheet. But these are always going to be here on your archived copy so that you can always reference them if you needed to for tax purposes. So this is something that you're going to want to keep updated if you are using these logs. Once your thing is archived, then it's all here for you, and you could just reference it at any time you need, and it's all stored on the cloud for you. And in the years following here, you just have it all at your fingertips, which I think is super awesome. All right, guys. So I think that covers just about everything. Hopefully, I haven't missed anything. If I happened to forget something and I didn't go over something you wanted an answer to, leave a question down in the comments below. We do also have a Discord where you can come and join. We do have a special channel in there that is just spreadsheet related questions and issues. You can always head over there, join the community, and I or someone else from the community will be able to help you out with that. If you do want to ask us any kind of questions live, we do have a live show on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You can hop on there. It's just right here on our YouTube channel, and you can ask us questions live. We try to answer every question we do get there, and I think that's it, guys. You guys have a great 2022. Are you ready for 2023? I'm kind of ready. So cheers to the new year. We do appreciate you guys very much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.